Hello, everyone. Good afternoon, and welcome to our talk show. Yes, so it's not midweek, but it's still midday. Apologies, we couldn't hold the session yesterday, but we're here today, and we're so glad to have every one of you from across the platforms join us. Yes, hello there. If you're watching us on Facebook or YouTube, we want to celebrate you, and this would be a good time for you to shout loud, to your friends, to your colleagues, and to everyone that is raising a teenager or a preteen. Remember, like I always say, prevention is better and cheaper than cure. So the things that we say here, the things that we do here every Wednesday, and of course every month, every week at the academy, we're constantly equipping parents with tools and mentors, of course, as well. Tools that would help them raise teenagers that are responsible, purposeful, and focused on fulfilling the reason why they were born. Yeah. So welcome. If you're a first time, I remember how we do it. We give you a special shout out because we want you to feel very welcome and to always keep a date with us. Yes. So today we're going to be talking about something really interesting. This month has been a very eventful one. I mean, we're just 1 week into the month and it seems like everywhere is upside down. Like so much is being said and done and seen. I've seen a lot of things in the past 1 week. You don't want to know how much. Sometimes the emotions are high up there, sometimes they are low, sometimes you're just like, what is going on? But then we will not relent. We will not. We will keep at it and ensure that at the end of it all, our goal of raising young adults that God will be proud of and humanity will be blessed to have will be met. So today I'm going to be talking about the characteristics of a teenager who will engage in vices. Like I said in my caption when I was making this post, I said, don't ask me if I'm a prophet. Don't ask me if I'm a wizard or a witch. I'm not a witch. But human behavior can be studied. You can learn from observation. You can learn by checking the precedents, check past events. There are so many indicators that you can use to actually tell if a child will end up in vices. Naturally, teenagers are, I mean, youthful exuberance is something that is to be expected, and some of us are even going to say, I also did it, so and I'm here today, I'm okay. Okay, so if my teenagers do this, I'm not going to kill them. Yeah, I understand that, but I want us to understand that these vices and crimes that are on the increase, no matter how society wants to explain it away, how society wants to just give an excuse, oh, this generation, this is just how they are and all that, we must understand that we are going to be negatively affected by these vices. This is why we must begin to pay attention. We must go back to the foundation, the ancient landmarks, and check to see what is it that we are not doing right. Personally, I dislike complaining because it doesn't change anything. You just go round and round in circles. You haven't discovered what the problem is. You haven't discovered why the problem is showing up. You haven't discovered what to do and how to do it. And then you're complaining. It's just a waste of time. That is why we're saying here that we must we must ask ourselves this question: who do you really want to raise? Because that is what is going to determine how much effort you put at this whole thing. Some of us actually don't mind raising a child that is, as long as the child is not going to kill me, I'm fine. Some of us don't want to raise anybody that is going to be outstanding. Some will just go like, as long as it does not disgrace me, I'm okay. No, that shouldn't be your goal. Your goal is to ensure that this child eventually fulfills purpose, fulfills the mandate, the reason why he was sent to earth in the first place. That should be every parent's goal. In fact, That should be your major responsibility that you are focusing on until your children eventually transit out of your house. If you don't do this, then you will keep struggling. Now, the following things I'm going to mention are things that you can start to do today, because if your children are showing, if these things are not being done, automatically you are ticking the criteria and the avatar of a teenager that would engage in vices. You're already ticking it without knowing. Recently I've been sent videos of, some of the things that teenagers are doing, online. They'll go to, the kind of parties that people used to go to a few years ago are not the kind of parties that are happening now. No, don't even go there. The parties they're having now are parties that are like do or die. Like, we're going to just kill ourselves in this party. We're going to have fun until we die. That's the way the parties are going. They are coming with high tempo. And for me, using the party scenario, in that party, you will see sexual activities. You will see dysfunctional. It's not just the regular sexual activities, it's even the dysfunctional one. The one where teenagers will be watching porn as a group, and when they finish, they'll start having an orgy in that room. It's supposed to be a party, where people came to eat and drink and have fun. It's no more like that. Then you have drugs going on in that place. You have some kind of financial activities, illegal activities going on, because once you're overly excited, as a human being, you're supposed to be able to control your emotions. But now, because of what is going on, you're unable to control yourself. So anything can go wrong. Earlier on in the week, one of my mentees has said to me that, Mama, it's not regular drugs they're taking again. No, they are blowing balloon. Yesterday, somebody now sent me the video, and I was just laughing. And I'm like, when is this going to end? Well, it's never going to end. As a matter of fact, it's going to worsen. So you need to begin to check and see. And this is what I do as a person. Every time somebody gives me an information or sends me a video or a picture of something that young people are doing, the first thing I do, they are sending it to me because I'm a teens mentor. The first thing I do is to receive it as a teen parent. I have 3 teenagers, 3 full-blown ones. The first thing I do is to take it and look at my process. Do I have the capacity to equip my children to withstand this vice that has just come? In the past 4 weeks, I have created like 3 plans. 3. I've created the social bill safety plan. I have created the internet, before you go to the internet plan, because my daughter is finishing secondary school, so we are preparing to launch her into the internet. There is a launch. You have to do launch. You can't just say take phone and be going. No, that is there. I have upgraded my outing plan. I have started working on a checklist for a code of conduct kind of thing when you're out there. So there is a lot, and these things are coming because of what I'm seeing. If not, our children will fit into this vices avatar. They will just fit in neatly. So what are the things that we can begin to do to check these children that can likely go into vices? Number one, parenting gaps. You see this, I am in Nigeria, my husband is in Ghana, my husband is in Australia, me, I am in Lagos, or you are here and yet you're not here. Your children are the first type of people that will engage in vices. Yeah. Why? The gaps. Remember that as parents, you are supposed to be You're supposed to create nurture and structure. Those are your two major responsibilities as parents. Nurture and structure. To nurture is to care. This is where you teach. This is where you devote time, energy, and resources, not just to teach, but to explain the whys and to show the hows. You're to focus on the positives. You're to challenge their capacity. You're to inspire them to display empowering, exemplary behavior. If you're not doing it as father and mother, or as father figure or mother figure, whatever, if you're not doing it, this child is likely going to engage. I want to just know that. So check it, because I am checking it. I looked at my journey and I saw a few gaps here and there, and I said, if I don't work on it, my children would. You see this thing that we are busy sharing videos. One day they'll share video, you just see your children. Why? Because of those gaps. So somebody might be watching me now and rolling his or her eyes, and this kind, please, all these coaches should leave us. They should free us. Are we going? We cannot come and go and kill ourselves. Is it because we are parenting so? If you have that attitude, just know that your child is not prophecy, please. Your child will engage in vices. My problem with the experiment is that it doesn't kill, but it can kill. It might not, or it might end up in death. It might end up in destruction. Uncle David, the coach, the substance abuse or prevention coach, has told us countless times of his experience in the drug world. He could have died. Okay, now somebody's like, oh, but Uncle David, he was able to pull through. He's now okay. He could have died. So I don't believe in this train up a child in a way that he should go, and no matter how far he departs, he'll come back to it. Why would you see departing? I didn't say you will not make mistakes. I didn't say you will not do one or two, but why are you departing to the extent that is now life-threatening? That's something to worry about. And this is why we must recommit to our process of nurturing and structuring. Let there be a structure that your children are following. Let there be a plan in your house. You people say, oh, if this parenting thing is not this deep. Who told you it's not this deep? Who told you? There was a time that my daughter had done something wrong, and I was just going on and on and on and on. And later, when we were having a conversation, by this time I was calm. We're having a conversation about it. And she said, Mommy, everything you were saying, I was not understanding it. My children are that expressive. Mommy, to be sincere, I was not understanding. I was like, what's the meaning of that? I was telling you. She said, please, if you want me to understand, if you want to really teach me, and you want me to really get what you're saying, there are many ways to do it. I said, she said, like you present, you do a PowerPoint, you show me the good, the bad, you show me the consequences, you show me. In my mind, I say, wonderful, wonderful. I should go and prepare slide because I want to correct you. But the choice is now yours. Do you want her to actually understand and imbibe what you're teaching her as a lifestyle? If yes, please go and do slides. If yes, then go and get pictures, videos, get resources, the way a teacher would do. Just this morning, one of the mentors was asking on our platform, please, I need a video to, as an intro video to show my teenagers before I teach them on this topic. That's a teacher. But parents, we can't do that. You feel like a teacher, they have work, that's their work. What's your work? Parenting is your work. It's a full-time job that the payment you get is when your children have turned out well. It's when God has said to you, well done. That is your payment. So my darling sisters and brothers, that is how the invention of PowerPoint presentations began in my house. I will do the research, I will check these, I will get short videos, because I want to teach something. So far, so good. It has worked, and it is working. If I can't do it, I get somebody who can. When we needed to teach our children about drugs, we got Uncle David, my friends and I, we paid him, he came on board, came on the screen. It was not Uncle David, hello, hi. It was a full-blown class. Sit down, listen to your teacher. He did his presentations and they got it. That's how serious it could be. That way, you're sure that your child is not getting the wrong or the incomplete information. Because remember that incomplete is as bad as wrong. Whether it's bad or it is there and yet not complete, they are both not okay. They are both less than 50. It's a failure. So we need to ensure that at all times these children have the complete body amount of information that they need on a particular subject. If you're teaching them about sexual issues, they know why they should not do it. Do they know what they should do when it comes at them? If they don't know it, that information is incomplete. So they know why, but then how or what to do, they don't know what to do. It's still incomplete. So this is why it's a lot of work. The second characteristic of somebody who would engage in vices is one who does not have personal core values. Yes, I know your family has their family value. Oh, your family has this plan and this agreement, this code of conduct. Your family has its mission, its vision, and everything. If your teenagers are not able to personalize it, to internalize it, they would still engage. Excuse me. I remember 2 years ago when we had the Step into Campus Like a Boss program. And of course, when I'm talking to teenagers, I'm not talking to them like I don't talk to them the way I talk to you parents or mentors. No. I talk to them like I'm the only one they're going to hear. I talk to them like, look, there is fire on the mountain. Get up, take your life. Okay? So I had said to them in that class, and every time I have the opportunity to teach teenagers about values, this is how I sound. I sound like, yes, your family has values. Oh, yes, there's a way you people behave. This is not allowed. That is not allowed. What do you think as a person? Have you owned it? Have you taken charge of it? Or are you waiting for when mom will remind you? Or when daddy will now have to call you and tell you, do it like this. Oh, no, don't do it. What do you think? This is what core values is all about. It's not just values, one that are operating in the home. It's personalizing and taking ownership of your own value system. Now, this young man, he was in that class. In fact, he was the class rep of that class, that cohort. And we taught them how core values are the anchor of your life. The anchor of a ship is that tiny equipment that keeps a ship from just getting lost, derailing, and just going off on the waters. Your core values is that anchor. It keeps you fixed. It keeps you on course. This is not about my mommy or my dad. This is about me and my life. So this young man, he's into the tech space. He's just 17. Then when he came for that class, he was 16. Okay. He came in, he did his tech classes and all that. And then he was offered scholarship to further his career in robotics and the whole tech space on one condition. It was a very juicy offer. Scholarship, they'll give you, they'll pay you, they would they'll give you an allowance, they'll give you accommodation, everything. Was such a juicy offer. However, he must get into a relationship with his boss, who was a man, homosexuality. And the guy refused. Before he got home, he said he didn't call his parents, he didn't call his mentors. By himself, he just said, I refused the offer. And when his parents asked, he said, because it's against my core values. That's it. The values that you set at home are the foundation, are the basis of which your children will pick from. When we're teaching them how to actually create their core values, we start from the family value system. That's why if you don't have known values, your child is already disadvantaged. Your child needs to pick from the basket, from the bank of your family's core value. He needs to pick from it and then choose his own. He's not going to pick it from the sky or from nowhere or from nothing. He's going to pick it from yours. So that young man did not need his parents to come and try to convince him or talk him out. On his own, he already knew that this was against my personal core values. So if your children don't get to that point where they can comfortably say, I won't do this, I won't do that, regardless of peer pressure or not, your child is going to engage in a vice. Just get ready. If everything is all about you, don't disgrace me, don't disgrace our family, don't you know who I am, don't you know who we are, your child is going to engage in a vice. My husband is a pastor, I'm a minister. If I use that title, that position, as a yardstick for why my children will not engage in vice, I'm among men most miserable. That's not why. Look, you have not heard children say to you that, mommy, that's you, that is you. My children have said it to me many times, mommy, this one is you. It has nothing to do with us. I had to wake up and smell the coffee and realize that me, my title and myself is for me. So I took it to my advantage. I said, so you, this is about you. I pushed it to them because the truth is, when children engage in vices, they are the first people to face the consequences, which worked for my own good. So you set your core values, you live by them, you benefit from them. You don't, you suffer from that. It's very simple. Allow these children, these teenagers, begin to take ownership of their lives. Take yourself out. Their shame is not your shame. Somebody's daughter gets pregnant, they leave the church. Why are you leaving your church that God sent you to? You leave because you are feeling ashamed. Why? Your child gets expelled, you change school. Why? Something happens in the neighborhood, your children do something wrong, you pack out. Why are you taking their shame? Let them bear it. They will be all right. Next time they will understand that in this life I make choices and I live by the benefit or the consequences of your choice. If you're not raising your teenagers with this mindset, get ready for report of vices. Get ready. They will leave school and go and play snooker. From snooker, they will enter Niger bet or this other king bet or everything bet. They will enter it because it's about, I don't want my mommy to see, I don't want my mommy to hear, I don't want my daddy must not catch me. What is that? How do you feel being found in this kind of place? How beautiful is it? And with these days of people taking pictures and taking videos, you want to be a superstar, like they told me at the just concluded Global Teens Conference. You want to be a celeb, and you want to be found in these places, in these ghettos. How is it going to happen? So own your core values and live by them. The next set of people that you can tell will engage in vices are people that have low self-esteem. Esteem simply means worth, price. How much do you cost? That's how I ask teenagers. When I teach them about self-esteem, I tell them, how much do you cost? How much are you? How much can I buy you? It's always a lot. They go like, how much can you buy me, ma? I'm like, think about it. Can you be bought? Are you priceless? Or are you worthless? Answer that question. I remember when we were at the Teens Mentoring Boot Camp, I think that was 2022 or 2021, we had this little debate about the Proverbs 31 woman says her price, a woman's price is far more than rubies. And I was sharing with the girls that the cost of ruby is about, is it $10 billion? Something, it's almost unimaginable amount. And the Bible says that a woman's worth is far more than that. Guess what? Rubies can't even be found easily. I hear there's some mountain that The last time they found a few of them was several decades and centuries ago. So you're so expensive that you can't even be found. And we were going back and forth. Oh, is it possible? How much are you worth? I am worth this. I have a price. I don't have a price and all that. This is why your children should be in settings like that. They need things to trigger their mindset, to push them to think. Because a lot of times, teenagers are doing things without thinking. Don't you see? They do some crazy things and you go like, are you okay? They're not okay. Teenagers, a lot of times they're not okay. Scientists say that the critical part of their brain is not yet fully formed. So stop asking them that question, because they are not okay like that to think through these things. That's why you need to help them build this self-esteem. There is a particular girl, she's an influencer on Instagram. Most of the teenagers, if I mention her name, if you have a teenager, they will just be excited, especially the girls. When she started off her, influencing and everything, she was okay. Okay, she was okay. As at yesterday, she's almost naked. That's it. That's it. She's almost naked. Now we are beginning to see that there is an esteem problem. If you don't, and it's not about whether you're rich or poor. It's not about whether you have been talking and talking and talking to your teenagers about these things. It's about how they have been able to actually get to that point where they cost themselves. They put a price tag on themselves. It's something they have to get to. It's a point they have to get. You can't do it for them. Because until then, you will expose your body. Until then, you cut your body. You will treat your body anyhow. You will treat yourself anyhow. You will take all sorts of things. You will do all sorts of things. Why? You do not have an understanding of how much you are worth. So you engage in vices. You see all this peer pressure. It's my friends. I had a session with a girl. I think that was earlier in the year. She lives somewhere abroad, and she had sent her nude out. And I was asking her why, and she was saying to me, I was pressured. I said, pressured by who exactly? Pressured by who exactly? Did they put gun on your head? And that's when she realized that, oh, that's true. These people just suggest. That's all they do. Suggest. They don't force. Sometimes they don't even compel. They just keep reminding, re-emphasizing it. That's all they do. So if you give in because you did not have an understanding of your price. The person that is gambling, this same person, if you check him, he's so smart. He's so intelligent. He's so witty. But he doesn't know his worth. He doesn't know what he has. So he goes to bet. And that's why whenever I work with teenagers, I'm not just interested in talking about don't. I'm interested with see what you can do. Look at yourself. One day, one teenager came to one of our programs. Immediately I cited him. He was just like, should I use the word local? Like a local boy. But I saw so much potential in him. Hey! And he kept wondering, because I used to tell him, I said, do you know who you are? Do you know what you have? He used to just look at me like, I don't understand. Is it me you're talking about? What are you saying? It's more than 5 years now. He has like 3 business. He has not gone to school, though. I don't even think he really finished secondary school like that. But if you see him, he's doing so well. I'm so proud of him. I'm so proud of him. What changed? What? Understanding that it doesn't cost 5 naira, that he costs far more than billions of dollars of naira. So everything that is on his inside, he's bringing it out. Everything on his inside, he's bringing it out. He's one of the kind of people that will go for a party. You'll be in the midst of evil men and women and you will not do anything. He'll come back and give the story. Why? A full understanding of who he is. There was a time he had to go to a particular city in Nigeria. That city is known for for scam. That's all they do in that city. He went there, stayed there for months. All his friends were engaged. He came back. He went and came back and was still very okay. Since the time I went through a lot, but I'm still intact. Why? A sense of esteem, a knowledge of their worth. This is important. This is very important, because if we keep saying my daughter has low self-confidence, my daughter is always easily peer pressured, go back to the foundation. Help her see who she is and what she has. Recently, I was having a session with one of my teenagers who is just everywhere. She's just everywhere. She's everywhere. You call this party, she's there. You call this event, she's there. And I'm like, come, let's talk. What is going on with you? Tell me all the things you can do. She listed about 6 of them. She can bake, she can cook, she can write. She was even authoring a book. She can sew, she can design, she can print, she can do tie and dye. I say, only you. And you are there jumping from one party, one club to the other. Why? You have not yet costed yourself. And so we are now on a journey of actually discovering who we are. At this age, she's almost 20. That's late. That's late. From 8, 9, 10, your children should start having an understanding of their capacity, of the things that God has put on their inside. After that, by the time we start getting to teenage without knowing, confusion starts. Confusion starts. And then they are now swift. It's peer pressure. In my house, peer pressure is not a reason to do anything. Peer pressure. In fact, I said it so much that my daughter now coined the word and said, hey, it's better for you to be the pressurer than to be the pressuree. I say, thank you, ma. I picked it up. She's the one that brought it up, because that was what she understood from all I had been teaching. We had that conversation at the Teens Easter Camp, 2021, about this issue of pressurer versus pressuree. Every time teenagers, what happened? Peer pressure. What happened? Peer pressure. What is the problem? And my daughter spoke up and said, it is time for you to become the pressurer and not the pressuree. I've never heard it before. I've not seen any dictionary. What is it? Go and know who you are. Go and find out who you are. As parents, let's help them. As mentors, don't keep it to yourself. Speak to them, help them discover themselves. It will keep them away from these vices. Look, once a teenager understands who he or she is, you don't need to say go here or don't go here. By themselves, they'll know that no, I can't carry myself to that kind of place. I went for a wedding once. They turned the wedding to club. I just carried my bag and left. Is it what they'll come and tell me, Tetima, you're not supposed to be here? Why would I be a queen mother like me? I'll be seated in a place, there'll be blow on top of my head. I don't need the Holy Spirit. I don't need Holy Spirit to come and say, stand up and go. I just stood up and left. It's that simple. And it's the same thing. If your child understands who they are, they're not going to join a cult, because they're like, what are they going to give me in a cult? The people in the cult need my help. They need my solution. I'm here to give it to them. That's how they're going to think. Because vices is about a mindset. Vices involvement is a mindset. You think there's something you are missing and you need to make up by doing this. And that's why I wonder why teenagers are not doing business. When you talk, some parents will tell you, allow them to face the academics. Which academics? They're facing academics and they're in club every 2 days, 3 days. Private universities, Nigerian public universities, they're everywhere painting the town red. I thought they were supposed to be in school. So why are they everywhere? They have not had a lot of understanding about these things. Very key. Now, what's the next thing to look out for in a child that would engage in vices? They lack accountability. Accountability does not start at 20, please. Accountability starts at 12. If you don't begin to insist on making your children answerable both to you and their parenting partners, like their mentors, your children are going to struggle throughout teenage. Why? They're going to experiment without the caution that they will be questioned. Please take note. Please take note. If your teenagers know that nobody will ask them, no other person aside from you will ask or question them, why are you wearing this? Why are you in this place? Why did I see you here? What are you doing there? When are you living there? If there is no sense of that in their heads, they're going to go haywire. Haywire. I had the opportunity to speak to my daughter during the week. She's writing her WAEC. And I told her that your 5 mothers, my friends, were 6. We call them their mothers. She's the one that actually even said my mothers. I said your 5 mothers have been practicing their celebration dance after we see your all A results. My daughter said, gee, she didn't even know when she shouted, Jesus. I say, yes, ma. Yes, ma, they are waiting. So it's not about me. And she knows them, they are going to come for her. When she got her jam, she did well by God's grace. Her mothers were the first to set a standard, and nobody goes below that standard. They celebrated her. They told her next is SS3. So she knows, she's reading like, oh, Father Lord, these people are coming for me. If you think that you're enough to raise your teenagers, you have not taught well. You are not enough. Those children will overpower you. Teenagers, they will overpower you. Both you and your sister and your brother, they will overpower all of you, their family members. Last night, I didn't sleep till almost past 12 midnight. Sessions upon sessions. Girls did this, did that. So I'm questioning. They won't dare. They will not dare tell me I didn't even now know what now happened. Me? Is it me you're talking to? Sorry? Say what? I was questioning them. Their parents had been having issues, going back and forth, flogging, hitting, reporting. Just as long as that girl is my mentee, bring her on. I'm a girls coach. Yeah, that's what I have on. So I had to question my girls. One of them had done something in school. She was going to be expelled. Another one had done something. I've been all week. That's all I've been doing. Holding them accountable. There are some of them. There was one of them. She went to paint her nails. She's just 10. Why are you painting your nails? It's not in their family value system. Nothing. It's not even allowed. It's inappropriate for her at that age. She was still giving her mother attitude. When she came to the session with me, she even came with and said, hello, Auntie Tima. She thought it was Queen Mother kind of session until she realized that it was a gbas aka commandant cap on kind of session. By the time we're done, she was in tears, crying. I didn't beat her or I didn't hit her. I didn't ask her anything. I only asked, I didn't do anything. I just asked her a few questions. She broke down. That's what accountability can do. It makes you self-realize yourself and what you are doing. I didn't tell her clean those nails now. I didn't tell her. I didn't tell her clean the nails. I didn't tell her cut it. Meanwhile, her parents had been going back and forth. Her mother, father, what is it? These nails. She was just busy, ready for the fight. People don't know teenagers. Bring fight. They like fights. There's fun in fighting. You don't know? You have not heard them gossiping. This guy, I want to give they love it. They thrive in getting you worked up. So when they are like, yes, press the button more. They love it. But not with their mentor. That's what happened. This is how it starts. By the time I was done with a few questions, one was covering face, the other one was crying, the other one was like, oh, my team is not like that. They were trying, because it's not easy to answer. You think it's easy? You have mentors. Is it easy when your mentors are asking questions? Are you laughing? And then you don't want to teach your children accountability? Why? I've told my children, and I've been saying it on this platform, if I hear that you were found in a place you were not supposed to be found at a particular time, I will not be upset. I will not be angry. I'll be very okay until I call your mentor. My children have heard this thing for more than 5 years. I say it almost every week. I said it's only when I call your mentor is confused, that the whole world is going to turn upside down. Because that's why accountability starts with movements. Accountability starts with choices, actions. Where you go, that's the basis. Where you go before we talk about what you are doing, where you are going to. So I won't be upset. You just come and call me, Auntie Tima, is this not your daughter? I just saw her in Ghana now. I thought you said you just posted that she was in school. I say it's okay. Thank you for the information. The next call I will make is a call to our mentor. If our mentor knows she's there, I'm fine. I'll call the call because our mentor already knows what to do to keep her accountable there, wherever she is. I'll call the phone and I'm fine. That's how serious I take accountability, and that's how serious you should take it. No teenager should have a sense of freedom. Freedom without freedom without boundaries. That's death. Freedom without boundaries is death. You're just free. No caution, no fence, no barrier. Just free like a bird. Oh no, you can't be free like that. I introduced it so much. It's a core value for my children, to the extent that in their school, when they are on holiday and they're having their set hangouts, we have set an accountability system. One of them's older cousin or sibling must be in that meeting. There's no we're going to party, we're going to party hard. Where? Why are you partying hard? And I must speak to that older adult to give them guidelines. It's not like we want to control them. No, we're helping them. And right now they are used to it. I shared with you guys the messages they sent to me on my birthday, celebrating me. Thank you so much. That's how I've influenced their set. Can't just be having party, going for picnic, going for that. No adults, no, I mean young adult or older adult. You're just free. Because what does that mean? And please don't let teenagers blackmail you. Tell them that the true test of responsibility is accountability. The true test of maturity is accountability. I am here, I'm accountable to my mentors, to my coaches. There was a day I was live during church. The next call I got was a call from my coach. As I saw the call, I said, I'm in trouble. I have entered. He said, what is the time? I say it's 5 p.m. sir. He said, are you not supposed to be in church? I said, I was going to the church before your call came. I knew what that meant. So if I, at this age, in my 40s, I'm accountable, who are you? Excuse me, 14, 15, 16. You come and be telling me I'm old enough to do what? Hello? Old enough to do what exactly? Don't let your children blackmail you. Please, please, please. Tell them that Tetima said that a test of maturity is accountability. You are old enough, then you are accountable enough. That's it. That's how we roll. We are going to be sending our children abroad. We're sending them to other cities. Our children are saying we're not schooling in the place we live, in our location. Good. I don't have no problem with it. I can send you anywhere, as long as you are going with the seed of accountability with you. That's the only thing you owe me. That's the only thing you owe me. Very important. The children that engage in these vices are not accountable to anybody else. And as for you, you're like, come enter my armpit. I beg, isn't that my mother? What's the what she will do? She will talk now, she will vex. Pale go just vex. Nothing after that, nothing dey happen. The next minute you have sent money for upkeep or for party keep. Some parents, all your money is for party keep. These parties they go to, they spend money. The drugs they buy, they spend money. It's not cheap. Recently I was doing a research on I wanted to understand the class, the characteristics of people at these wild parties, because there are parties and there are parties. These wild parties, I was trying to do a research. My phone is not here. I wanted to read out what I found out. The children of the rich, middle class up, basically. They come from both Christian and Muslim homes, so it's not even a matter of in Christianity or in Islam. They come from these homes, and they are between ages 15 and 22. Should I take that again? The majority of teenagers engaging in these wild parties and sexual rascalities and immoral behavior are children of the rich and the middle class upwards. So they have substance, they have money. The money you send to them for upkeep is now for party keep, drug keep, so that they never lack. As it's finishing, they top up. There are children that are between ages 16 and 22, thereabout. These are people that are just going into university, first year students, second year students. They are the ones that you find painting the town red, blue, and black. There are also children from Christian and Islam and Muslim homes. So don't even say no, it's Muslim people that do this one. It's Christian, it's both. There are children that are there without anybody checking or watching or knowing. They are just children that have been left to fly. Freedom without boundaries is death. Maturity without accountability is immaturity. You're a child. If you cannot stay accountable, you're not as matured as you think. I want us to take note of that. Now, finally, and this one is really, really important. Indiscipline. Indiscipline. When a child lacks self-discipline, they are unable to control themselves, to control their actions, their inactions, their reactions. And the greatest kind of discipline is the one you impose on yourself. The one that you say to yourself, me, I am not doing this. I will do this. That's the greatest and the most effective kind of discipline, self-discipline. Where we come in as parents is where you're trying to help them build it. So you give them something like the marshmallow test, you give them something, you keep it and you say, don't touch until I come back here in 10 minutes. And let's see how many people will not touch. If you don't touch, I will give you extra 2 of this chocolate you love that you did not touch. But if you touch it, you will lose it. That's how children start building ability to restrain and refrain themselves from doing the wrong things without somebody being there. The marshmallow test is so effective because you leave the child and go. So the child is torn with voices. Take a piece, don't take a piece. Take a piece, don't take a piece. And that's how temptations and trials and vices, that's how it is. Go for this party, don't go for this party. Go for this party, don't go for this party. Gamble with your school fees, don't gamble with your school fees. Gamble, don't gamble. Take this drug, don't take. So they are always torn between 2 options. Self-discipline is the ability to choose the right option without external influence. Nobody has to come and tell you, why did you choose? Don't choose. This is why you should not choose. You would have worked on all that before that time. Self-discipline is the reason why you have to call your children every weekend and ask them where they are. The child by himself cannot know that this is weekend and this is where I should be. You must remind them, constantly remind. I usually tell the parents I mentor their children, I don't expect you to keep reminding a teenager for this same thing. I expect you to be questioning them. Question. Why are you not doing this, or why are you doing this? Not every time. Remember, don't do this. Remember. So at what point is this child able to control himself, which is what self-discipline is all about? Please, like Coach Wendy said something yesterday. She said, you see this, we don't have, now a family is no more father, mother, and children. We now have 6 kinds of families. We now have mother, and children, father, and children, father, dog, and children, father, this one. They are now a lot. This is the world that we are in. We are not going back to where we are coming from, where we read in social studies in primary school that a family is made up of father, mother, and children. We are not getting there again. No. These vices are never going to reduce. It's going to worsen. So how are your children going to survive without self-discipline? What if you were trying to call at that time, so the Holy Spirit nudged you, call your child now, you called your child, the phone was off? What is going to help your child stay away from the bad? If your child cannot do it now, your child cannot do it later. Listen to this statement. Stop enabling your children. It's not everything they ask for that you give. Let them get used to hearing no. Let them get used to lack, to waiting. Let them get used to being patient. Let them get used to sacrifice. Sacrifice something today for something greater tomorrow. Let them get used to it. It's a training on self-discipline. That's why you should work on budget. Look, I'm going through what people are going through. My children, they are a lot. I told you guys how my children will say they cannot wear aba, they must wear oriji or g, or they must wear, they must do this, they must so we had to find a way to begin to build self-discipline, which is work on a budget. My daughter is graduating, she has a budget. She gave me her budget since December last year. Things went up, we had to go back to that budget. I said, you would choose between having this and letting go of this, or having this less and having all you want. There was no fight. She doesn't want me. I say, my darling, that's how it is. That's how it is. But you see this enabling. The more they push you, the more you go. The more they push you, the more you go. Everything is just a child. I don't want you to suffer what I suffered. You are enabling an indisciplined child. You will suffer. That's how we do vices. It's not prophecy. If your child does not know how to do homework without watching television, I hear parents say some crazy things. I don't understand. I'm not understanding what people are saying. My child cannot concentrate if there's no music playing at the background. Oh, my child cannot eat if somebody is not singing and dancing for him. I don't understand it. If the world must rise and fall at your child's feet because he or she is who exactly? Why are we enabling our children? The more you continue to enable these teenagers, the more they will be indisciplined. Because discipline is saying, stay on the line, don't come out. I remember when I was going to Dubai for the first time, I had to stop over at Ethiopia because I used the Ethiopia Airlines. And my secondary school friend, very good friend, was in Ethiopia. She was at the airport to see me. And I thought, I didn't understand. This is why self-discipline can put you, is the game changer for your experience, good or bad experience. I didn't know that in Addis Ababa, I respect those people. If you step out of the line, you are gone. You've missed that flight. So I got there. My friend had even said, oh, bring me this, bring me this. I brought all those things. I didn't step out of the line to go and meet her. I stepped out of the line to ask the official. The custom official was standing there. I stepped out of the line to ask her a question, and she said, you have just missed that flight. I say, how, ma? She said, you have stepped out of the foreign line. You are now in Ethiopia. I said, I don't understand look, guys, that was one of the most horrible experiences I've ever had. That's when I realized that self-discipline can cost you a lot. I had to go and pay more money. I had to wait. When it was a miracle that my luggage did not get missing in Dubai, because the plane that the luggage came with I was supposed to be on it. I had to miss it. Why? I stepped out of the line. There is nothing like I'm just a little bit indisciplined. No. How you do one thing is how you do everything. If you don't lay your bed, if you're not used to laying your bed, you will not be used to arranging your desk in school. Your laptop bag will be scattered. Your car will be scattered. Food and plates, everything will be scattered, because how you do one thing, like Jim Rohn will say, is how you do everything. There is no part-time, one-off self-discipline. No. You are disciplined all the time. And for discipline is worse with some temperaments. Temperaments like the sanguine temperament. It's a hard one for us. I'm in that category. I'm in that family. Very difficult. If you have children that are like this, you need to pay close attention and help them. Remember where we started from? Nurture and structure. Structure would help you build discipline in your children. This is when you will sleep. This is when you will wake up. Some of us used to feel like, hey, it's not that hard. You allow these children rest. No. No, 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 no. If these children get used to do it anyhow you like, they are never going to be disciplined. That's why they're going to go for a party during exams. That's why they're going to eat any cake or any snack that comes to them without checking who did it. Let me watch people that are taking it first. That's why they will take alcohol when everybody is taking, because they are used to doing things anyhow. Remember, how you do one thing is how you do everything. And there is no part-time discipline. For me, this partying, these vices, this homosexuality, everything, for me, they are all distractions. They are all distractions. Why do I say so? Self-discipline is the opposite of procrastination, and it is also the fuel for distraction management. You think that the world is going to be calm, no more, the world is not going to distract your child because your child is in the world. No, the distractions are going to increase. Get ready. So if your child is not disciplined to stay focused in a distractive world, your child will suffer. Your child will struggle. You will have carryovers. You will have to be sorting, you will be bringing money to be sorting out lecturers. Your child will have extra year. Your child will be shown the way out of university. Why? Your child does not know how to stay focused. I came to school to read and pass and graduate after 3 years. If your child does not know how to talk to himself consistently like that, your child will lose time. This is why I'm shouting about this distraction management course. I'm shouting it now. I'm shouting it now. I'm shouting it now. Because unfortunately, the way you practice self-discipline is the way you practice procrastination. Excuse me. It's also the way you practice vices. You be going to gamble every week, then you begin to go every 2 days, then you begin to go every day, then you begin to be there for hours. It's a practice. You get perfect at it, just like you get perfect with self-discipline. Like I said, self-discipline is an ongoing thing, is a lifestyle that must go through a routine. a routine a routine. If your child is not going through that routine, your child is enabling distraction. More and more will come. Look at, since the month began, pride here, pride. Do you know that thing is distracting children? Some of them are beginning to say, okay, this whole pride thing, I'm really, really a girl. Maybe I'm a boy. It's distraction. They don't understand that they are supposed to look at that information and face front and focus. Why? They don't know. They have not been given tools and skills. They have not been equipped with what they need to stay focused. Focus is an art that must be mastered. That is why Isaac Onoja, Folake Agunbade, and myself are going to be spending 2 days to equip these children. If your teenagers are not there, I can't help you. Because as we speak, parents are registering to come for the class. Parents are saying, even me as an adult, can you imagine an adult is still dealing? An adult is still dealing with distractions. What of children? Children that easily get distracted. They're always daydreaming, always talking off. The teacher is talking, they're looking at the teacher's shoes, analyzing her hair, teasing and making a mockery of his shirt. These are people that are supposed to be listening, but they don't know how to bring their distractive minds back to focus. These are the things we are going to be teaching. How can your children self-motivate themselves to study? How can they lead themselves, self-leadership? How can they lead themselves in the midst of chaos and negative influence? Negative influence will not stop because your child entered that university. No, it's going to increase. So how is your child going to be able to put himself back on the line and keep moving amidst people trying to pull him left, try to pull him right? How is he going to do it? It's an art. Ability to say no, ability to focus on your to-do lists. without mom or dad's constant reminders. It's a skill. Focus is a skill. If you don't master it now, you will struggle all your life. We have been there. Now, what has happened? Many of us have had to spend money. You're spending money because you're trying to go into therapy. You're trying to go and see specialists who will help you as an adult, full-blown adult, to now start learning what you should have learned as a teenager. This is a course that's going to hold every year. Teenagers must learn to master the art of turning their eyes away. They must master the art of being fine in the midst of FOMO. So FOMO is the fear of missing out. How can they deal with FOMO? How can they have the joy of missing out? Oh, so everybody, the whole school has gone for this concert. I'm not there, but I'm fine. It's something that is learned. It's a skill that is learned. It's not imparted. Shabada kata kata. In the name of Jesus, as everybody is going, no, your child will want to go, and sometimes they will go after everybody else has gone because they couldn't handle it. They didn't know what to do. If they did, they would have done better, because if you know better, you will act better. So please register your children for the distraction management class for Gen Zs. Therapy is 80K a session, and you will need at least 5 sessions if your children become highly distracted. It's going to affect their performance in school, their behavior. Everything is affected by choices, and the choices are determined by ability to manage the distractions that come your way. So this is not a joking class. This is a class that I have personally spent lots of money getting trained myself, not just participating, not just learning how to manage distractions. I've had to learn how to help other people manage distractions. So it's a lot of money, but we're giving it to the academy and those that participate for just 5,000 naira. If you come for a replay, you pay 10,000 naira. And guess what? You would come, because your children, if they can't manage distractions, you can't be at peace. Every day to be from one complaint to the other, they are calling you because your child did this, your child did that. Why? Your child could not focus on the reason why he's where he is. So this is very, very important. Thank you so much, everyone. I can see your comments. Yes, there is no part-time discipline. Self-discipline is a lifestyle. This is why some of us cannot stick to routines of exercise, routines of diet. We can't stick to routines of reading. We can't stick to any routine because we don't have that self-discipline. We can't coordinate ourselves. We cannot command ourselves and follow through. The ages are from 10, and then we're taking both girls and boys. This is the program for both girls and boys. If your children are not around, still register. Get the links and put them in your library. I've told teen parents that you must have a learning library for your teens. My children, 3 of them are in boarding house. My husband is registering. I told him this month, I said, sir, you will register for this course because you need to hold your children accountable to go through it, and you too, you'll be benefiting as you watch. So we had that agreement this morning, and he must have made his registration by now. The date is next week, 17th to 18th, and the time is 7 p.m. Nigerian time, so that our teenagers in the US and Canada can join in as well. Okay, so we always do our programs during the weekends because we have teenagers from that part of the world. Yeah, please ensure that your children are registered, ensure that their friends are registered, because when their friends are not registered, as your children are trying to fight distractions, manage them, their friends are trying to pull them into these distractions. So they all need, everything I do, I try to do with my children and their friends, my friends and their children. We do it together as a group, every one of us, so that we can jointly be that support system, that accountability system that these children need to grow into purposeful and responsible adults. Thank you so much, Mercy, Michael. Thank you, Clara. I'm talking to those on Facebook. Thank you, Sim. Thank you, Auntie Sim. Thank you, Wendy. Thank you so much, everybody. I am so glad that you could make it here. Those of you that are here, those of you that are watching your replay, shout out to you. Thank you so much, and please don't forget to get on the registration. Let me put on that registration right away. It's online payment goes through seller. The link will also be posted, but offline payments comes to the account directly, the academy's account, after which you have to go to admin so that admin can add you to the group. Of course, you know that the Teens Mentoring Bootcamp Ignite is only about 7 weeks away, 6 weeks actually, 2 weeks in June, no, 7 weeks, 3 weeks in June and 4 weeks in July, and then the first edition at Lagos kicks off. You want to register your children for that boot camp. That is the next best thing to making heaven, coming on Ignite, being fireized to go out to your world to fulfill purpose, having fun, clean fun, building skills, sharpening skills, testing your ability to be independent. What else? What else? Tapping into the wealth of knowledge of great seasoned mentors, staying in an environment of love and acceptance. What more can you give to a teenager before he becomes a full-blown adult, except bringing them to the 5th edition of the Teens Mentoring Bootcamp? If you can't come physically to Lagos, Abuja, or Port Harcourt, join us online, okay? All right, everybody, thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your day. Please help us share this video. Keep sharing, keep sharing, keep sharing. You would never tell how far it goes. Have a blessed day, and God bless you. I celebrate you all.